What does it take to make $50 million a year before turning 30? For Jordan Belfort, it took charisma, manipulation, relentless ambition, and a total disregard for the rules. At the height of his power, his firm employed over 1,000 brokers. He owned mansions, supercars, a 167-foot yacht, and a helicopter he once crashed in his own backyard. But behind the glamour was one of the most infamous financial fraud operations in American history. This is not just a story about excess. It's a story about how Wall Street greed, psychological manipulation, and unchecked ego built an empire and destroyed it. This is the full rise and catastrophic fall of Jordan Belfort. Part 1. The Making of a Salesman. Jordan Belfort grew up in Queens, New York, in a middle-class Jewish family. His parents were accountants. Money wasn't abundant, but it wasn't scarce either. From an early age, Belfort had two defining traits. He hated being average. He loved selling. As a teenager, he and a friend reportedly made thousands selling Italian ice at the beach. That summer changed something in him. He realized money wasn't just survival. It was freedom. After graduating from American University with a biology degree, he briefly attended dental school. On the first day, the dean reportedly told students that dentistry was no longer a path to serious wealth. Jordan left. He didn't want comfortable. He wanted rich. Soon after, he landed a trainee position at L.F. Rothschild, a Wall Street brokerage firm. That's where he learned about stocks, IPOs, and high finance. But fate intervened. October 19th, 1987, Black Monday. The stock market crashed. Thousands were laid off, including him. For most, that would have ended the dream. For Belfort, it was just the beginning. Part 2. Discovering the Gold Mine. Penny Stocks. After Black Monday, Belfort found work at a small brokerage selling penny stocks, low-priced, highly speculative shares of small companies. Here's what he discovered. Blue-chip stocks paid small commissions. Penny stocks paid huge commissions, sometimes 50% or more. The stocks were often questionable, but the profits? Enormous. He realized something powerful. If you control the narrative, you control the price. And if you control the price, you control the money. In 1989, Belfort co-founded Stratton Oakmont. At first, it was small, just a handful of brokers in a modest office. But Belfort had a system. He developed what he called the straight line system, a high-pressure sales framework designed to eliminate doubt and close deals quickly. It focused on three things: absolute certainty, controlling the conversation, creating urgency. Stratton Oakmont wasn't selling stocks, they were selling belief, and it worked. Part 3. Building the Machine. Stratton Oakmont grew rapidly. Belfort recruited young, aggressive salesmen, often without financial backgrounds, former athletes, high school graduates, people hungry for money. He trained them relentlessly. They memorized scripts. They practiced objections. They role-played constantly. The office became a war room. Brokers would cold call thousands of potential investors. When someone showed interest, they were passed to a senior broker, a closer. The scheme was simple. Buy large amounts of cheap stock. Use aggressive sales tactics to drive up demand. Inflate the stock price. Sell internal holdings at the peak. Let outside investors hold the collapse. This pump-and-dump strategy generated millions. At its peak, Stratton Oakmont handled over $1 billion in stock offerings. Jordan Belfort reportedly earned up to $1 million a week. He was in his late 20s and completely untouchable, or so he thought. Part 4. The Lifestyle of Excess, 1600 to 2100. Money changes people. Unlimited money destroys them. Belfort's lifestyle became legendary. He bought a mansion in Long Island, a Ferrari Testarossa, multiple Lamborghinis, a helicopter, and a 167-foot yacht named Nadine. The office culture became chaotic. Wild parties, strippers in the office, cash thrown from balconies, midget-tossing competitions, open drug use. Quaaludes became his drug of choice. He has described taking so many pills that he once crawled home because he couldn't walk. He crashed his helicopter while high. He nearly sank his yacht in a storm off the coast of Italy, insisting the captain sail through rough waters. The man who preached certainty had completely lost control. But even as his personal life spiraled, the business machine kept running, until regulators stepped in. Part 5. The investigation begins. Stratton Oakmont's activity didn't go unnoticed. Investors were filing complaints. Stocks promoted by the firm skyrocketed, then crashed. The Securities and Exchange Commission began investigating. Soon, the FBI joined. Agent Gregory Coleman built a case piece by piece. They uncovered market manipulation, securities fraud, money laundering. Offshore accounts in Switzerland. Belfort attempted to move money overseas. He trusted friends to carry cash across borders, but informants emerged. Phones were tapped. The illusion of invincibility shattered. In 1996, the SEC shut down Stratton Oakmont. In 1999, Jordan Belfort was indicted. The wolf was cornered. Part 6. The collapse. Facing decades in prison, Belfort made a choice. He cooperated. He wore a wire. He testified against colleagues. In 2003, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison for securities fraud and money laundering. He ultimately served about 22 months. He was ordered to pay $110 million in restitution. The mansions were gone. The cars were gone. The firm dissolved. The lifestyle vanished from Wall Street king to federal inmate. Part 7. Reinvention and controversy. After prison, Belfort reinvented himself. He wrote his memoir, The Wolf of Wall Street. The book became a bestseller. In 2013, director Martin Scorsese adapted it into a blockbuster film starring Leonardo DiCaprio. The movie grossed hundreds of millions worldwide. Suddenly, Belfort wasn't just a disgraced broker, he was a pop culture icon. Today, he works as a sales trainer and motivational speaker, but controversy remains. Critics argue he profited from crime twice, first through fraud, then through fame. Supporters say he paid his debt and rebuilt his life. The debate continues. Part 8. The lessons. Jordan Belfort's story isn't just about greed, it's about psychology. It's about how persuasion can override logic. It's about what happens when ambition outruns ethics. And it's a reminder. In finance, hype can be louder than truth. But eventually, truth wins. The Wolf of Wall Street wasn't taken down by competition. He was taken down by consequences. And in the end, no amount of certainty can sell your way out of reality.